Bluetooth of the particular device. And right now what I have to do here is to make another method, and this method is for get all paired devices for the Bluetooth. Pairing is something which is required when you are transferring the data, and you have to get that paired devices. That's why this method is there. So is enabled, then paired devices, and then so it will speak up this text, paired devices are okay. Then there will be devices that are there. So now after this line to write where and text equals to null. Null means empty. It's empty, not null. And then devices entities of type set. Bluetooth, then device. No issue. Bluetooth adapter dot get. Here I think we have to be careful right now. So then for devices in devices, then you just have to speak up all these things, add to text plus equals to new line, that device, and then count. That device 1 is then device name. So afterwards device and then count plus, or you can write count plus equals to 1. Now the else block for it, speak, turn on Bluetooth firstly, then to get the pair devices. That is the common thing. Like if you have not turned on that Bluetooth, then how can you ask for that paired devices? So this method is also completed here. And now what we have to make is to get into another method, and let me go for this method. First of all, remove the extra space. Also, let me see if there seems to be any problem with that. So here you have to also make a speak text. So it is necessary. Then one curly braces and close this, remove extra space. Now another method, and this method is turn on flash. To turn on the flashlight, this method will be invoked. So what to do with this method is actually, if build version SDK, you have to write this condition for that particular build version. Build version SDK int greater than equals to build version underscore codes. And then M is for, I think, marshmallow. That was also an Android version earlier. And now camera.get torch mode, and passing the camera ID and make it true, like make it enable. Then speak flash is turned on. Pardon for the bad English. Now the catch block. So the catch block is from Java language dot exception. It is imported from Java. You can use some libraries of Java and Kotlin too. Okay, so now e dot print is text trace, and here you have to speak something like error occurred. So error and then occurred. Okay, so now another method for turning off the flash. So let's copy this and doing the same as we have done with that turn off Bluetooth method. Okay, make change in the name of the method. First of all, turn off flash, and then you have to just make it false. Okay, and change here, turn off, and everything is good. Just remove that speak. Okay, and here you can see that this method is complete. Now there is another method, and its name is clipboard copy. So what does this method do? This method will deal with that copy paste kind of thing. So it comes within that clipboard manager in Android. Okay, so first of all, wall data keeper dot then split, and here we are passing the delimiters. This is a part of regex. Okay, to typed array. You can say that it's a cheap regex. It's not that perfect, but it works. Okay, and iterator. Afterwards, what we do if data is not empty? Okay, we have write data is empty, but we have put out that not symbol at the start. So this change the whole result. If it is come true, then it will make it false. Okay, clip data dot new plain text, and passing the text and data. Okay, and now what we have to do, clipboard manager dot set primary clip, and passing the clip data to it. Afterward, speak what data copied to clipboard, that is, and you have to speak up that variable information. Okay, so it is okay. And now there is another function. I know this class or activity is going to be a big, we have already write such long code, but believe me, it will very important class and prove to be its own majesty in the application. Okay, and now all item equals to that thing. Okay, then paste data. If you have already copied something, like if you have copied your message or anything from any other app, then it will also speak up that. So this is for that. Clipboard speak, then data stored in last clipboard is, so here it will come plus paste data. Else, within the else block we are speak like clipboard is empty. Okay, so this function is finished. Now we have to make another function here, but first of all let me remove this space, and now I'm out of that function. So here I will make another function, and this function is for capture photo. Very important function. Like if you say to the assistant that capture a photo or take a photo, then it will be done by this method. So this is the common thing. We are checking for the self permissions for that particular camera permissions, are you having or not. So it is also needed, and then checking for that package manager. So I think you got this thing, as we have wrote it very certainly. So now activity compare dot required permission, passing that context and then array of manifest dot permission, afterwards camera, and then here we have to write manifest dot permission dot write. If you're taking picture, then it should be stored at somewhere. That's why I write external storage and then capture photo. Okay, perfectly fine, no issue. And in the else block, what I will do is I have to write this else block also. So let me do it here. Okay, bell builder, and then strict mode dot bm policy dot builder. Okay, and here the strict mode dot set bm policy, then passing the builder dot build to it, and afterwards image index plus plus, and then file string, I think it's a path. Okay, then image directory surplus image index, and you have to make it .jpg. Okay, .jpg is the format for the photo. Then new file alt plus enter to import this. Okay, now open this. Okay, afterwards you have to make a try catch here. So within that try, new file dot create new, and then new file, and you have to pass value to this function called create new file, but leave it right now. Catch, then IO error or IO exception it is. Okay, so to handle this exceptions, you have to write this also. Then e dot print stack trace. Afterwards the output file URI equals to URI dot from file new file. Okay, so here what we will do is to just see if there is any problem or any issue. So we have mistakenly taken that curly braces there, so don't worry about it. Also there seems to be lots of errors within this activity, but at the end of the code we will be correcting all our errors. And now for action image capture, then camera intent dot put extra, and now media store dot extra, and then output. Afterwards output file URI, and then finally we are starting the activity by camera intent, and then speak up like photo will be saved and that particular location, that where your that photo you have taken, where it got saved. So you will also get to know that particular location. Okay, so this method is also completed for taking the photo, and now there will be another method, and its name is play ringtone. Like if you want to play the ringtone or want to know that what type of ringtone is set it to your mobile device, then it will also tell that. So speak up like playing ringtone. Okay, so just like the Google Assistant kind of thing. Like if you say them play ringtone, then it will say playing ringtone, then afterwards it will play that ringtone. Then stopping, then you just have to write stop ringtone. Okay, and here you have to change it like ringtone stopped, and here you have to write stop. Okay, so this thing is done, and after this to write another method and read me. So if you have noticed that anything like what we are doing actually is to giving method for each command. We are making our custom methods, not depending on the internet or using any library for it. Okay, so now read me is for group image. Okay, and now again one more method is there, and this method is get text from bitmap. Okay, then you have to pass out the bitmap here, and it is for particularly images. And now what I will do, as it is showing, sometimes I also forgot the things as we have write up such long code, so it happens, and then you have to rethink that what you gonna do next. Okay, so here I will open this curly braces and then like get text from bitmap, then I will write as wall image and then input image from bitmap. Afterwards to pass out this, and now recognizer, and that recognizer is text recognition, and then get client. Afterwards to write that result equals to recognizer dot process, then image. Okay, then add on success listener here. Okay, and pass that vision text, and vision text is for we are using that images for it. Don't worry about that external sounds, it's my cat that's making that sounds. Okay, now if keeper dot contain summarize, then you have to pass out speak reading image and summarizing it. Okay, and then summarize text and passing the result text to it. Okay, so now what we have to do next, afterwards let me see if there seems to be an issue. We have not get the text patient text. Okay, now after this what we have to do is to remove the extra space first, and then the else condition for this particular if is reading image, and then we are passing this result text. Now there is one method which we have left out, and that method is summarizing text from the image. Okay, let's close it. So this method is using the vision library of Google ML Kit. I think you must be familiar with it. And here add on failure listener, we are just adding that twist dot make test, then this, and printing that error message twist dot length short, and then finally we are showing it. Okay, so now let me remove this extra space first of all, and here it gonna get removed in this way, like what I'm seeing is, I have take out that such long spaces, and it is just for showing the screen at a good scale or dimensions. So now what I will do here, making another function for different thing like summarize text, and what this will return is a string and maybe null. Okay, then this is the beauty of this Kotlin, that you can handle null pointer exceptions, and here then reference to that particular object. Okay, and here like we have this any in Kotlin. So what does this object reference in Kotlin, then you get to know that in Kotlin object is a special class that only has one instance, and if you create a class with keyword object instead of class, the Kotlin compiler makes the constructor private and creates a static reference for the object and initialize the reference in the static block. Okay, so now these are some methods that are going to implement in future, or they are not needed right now. Okay, so to be done, I have pasted out here, and again another method is there, and what is this method is weather, also important method to tell you the weather by using that open API for which we have signed up at that website, if you remember. And now if keeper dot contains that word like Fahrenheit, okay, then helper dot set unit dot imperial. Okay, else if it is not the case, then else if keeper dot contains what it is Celsius. Okay, then what will it do? Let me see. It will just setting that units dot metric. Okay, and now what we have to do is keeper, then split it, keeper dot replace. By what? We have to replace a space, and it is also the same thing that we have done earlier by using regex, and other than regex we have used a replacement also. Okay, so now split it, and delimiter is w, and then to typed array. Okay, seems to be no problem here. Then city, like weather should be of if you are getting weather information from API, then city is must. Now for which particular place you want to get the weather information, so you have to take it as a primary key. So city is like that. Okay, then passing this city, then object, and then current weather callback. And what does it will do? Let's see. Okay, so current weather callback, and now within this we have to implement these on success and on failure methods. So first of all, on success method, and afterwards we will be moving to that on failure method. So first of all, speak up. What, like first of all, you have to trim all these things and then do. So give the coordinates here, and we are using that variable current weather dot coordination. Then the latitude will come at first, and after that what we are going to do next is to giving the longitude also. And latitude and longitude both are the things that are required for getting the coordinates or the of the any location. Okay, so these are actually called the coordinates of the location. And now the weather description I've taken up as just like that. And now the temperature, so the temperature will be current weather dot main, and then temp max. Afterwards there will be wind speed. Okay, so what will be the wind speed here? Current weather dot bind, and then you can get the speed from there. Okay, afterwards city and country. So for city and country, you can like that current weather dot name, and then you have to write as current weather dot sys, and then country. And afterwards you have to remove this extra space I am removing. Okay, so now everything is good. This is on success method. And now, as I've said earlier, I have to do the on failure method also. So in on failure method we will be just putting out that error and making the throwable message here. Okay, so afterwards what we have to do, like after on failure, I'm checking the parentheses and those curly braces, either they are at their correct place or not. And afterwards we have to implement another method, and this method is horoscope. So horoscope, as you know, it's a part of astrology. And now I'm getting the log here in check for message hello. And after that uh, for Gemini as horoscope, and then horoscope dot zodiac. Actually this is also a library which we have implemented, and in the dependencies you have seen earlier in the video series. Now the sun sign dot Gemini, and then request duration, then duration. And afterwards what we are going to do is duration dot today, and then show loader. Afterwards make it true, and then checking for is debuggable dot fetch horoscope. Okay, and then another variable Gemini, C Gemini, then horoscope controller. And in this horoscope controller object for responses, and we have response here. Afterwards what we will be doing here, there's a method called on response obtained. Like if we get the response from it, then make it a string, then zodiac dot get what? Horoscope. Okay, so write it completely like get horoscope. And afterwards what we will be doing here, like sun sign, and within the sun sign you have to write as zodiac dot sun sign, and within this zodiac dot sun sign what we'll be doing here, like making this zodiac dot get date, and then afterwards what we will be doing, like making a logcat here as log.d, then check horoscope plus sun sign plus date. Okay, so up to this we are done. And then there is another method called on error obtained. If any error occurs, then what we will be doing, like making a speak can't reach data points. Okay, so till now we are done with this. And after that what we will be doing, like see Gemini dot request constellation and passing that Gemini object within this method. Okay, so this method is also complete. Now another method, and this method is joke. So this method we left it. Okay, so you don't need to give every method, like this is method function, left something for this for yourself also, like what you can do with your commands. So these are some customizable methods that I'm making, then you can set up any command to them. So okay, so this can be your personal project also, like maybe you want different things. Okay, now this is on request permission, just implemented this. Okay, and now what we have to do within this method is, we are within this method, and within this method now if request code equals to request call, then what we are doing, if grant result dot size is greater than 0 and grant result at 0th position is package manager dot permission granted. If the permission is granted, then what will be doing, making a phone call, otherwise there will be a toast message. And what that toast message, passing the context within is this, and afterwards permission denied. Okay, then toast dot length short, then show it. Okay, perfect. So this is done. And next what we have to do in this free space, let me check it out. First of all, what other things are left out, just copy this. First of all, in within this method we are checking out for the different permissions actually. So doing this, checking for the permissions, like change the method only, make it send SMS, and then again we have to do the same thing. Like if we don't get any permission for a task, then what else we can do for it, like we can show the toast message that that particular permission is not given. Okay, so now what I'm doing here is readme, just I've copied that particular code of lines, then pasting them and changing only the methods. Here I'm calling the methods. If you get the permission, then you can call up such methods, and you should be careful with that request codes. Okay, so what else, make it different from request call to, like make it share a text file. Then we have implemented that method share a text file, and after that what we are going to do, share a text message, and here we go. Okay, so okay with that. And now what we want to do here, like another paste, and then within this read contacts. Afterwards you have to call that call contact method, else if Okay, so we have copied the if block, and afterwards we are adding that else and suffixing that if block and changing the permission according to our need. I'm doing the same. Now remove this extra space, so much extra space is there. Okay, so that space is removed. Now another method, and this method is called on activity, and then it should be result. Okay, so the second one is the method called on activity result. And what we are going to do within this on activity result method is to, first of all, let me check it out. As you can see that uh, checking for the request code, if the request code is equals to request code select doc, and request, what is that result code, equals to like result, it's not result, it's capital one. Okay, result. Okay, if you are getting the okay result, okay, then what we are going to do, all file path equals to getting the path from data dot data, and then getting the path, so getting the path from the intent. Okay, now within the logcat checking for that path if we are getting the correct path or not. So message path, and then we can surplus this thing path is, and then this variable file path. Okay, no problem, everything is going smoothly. Just take care of these double quotes also. Then again method, making a method, and it is file and passing the file path within it. Okay, now intent share, and what this intent will open to you, this intent will open the a chooser kind of thing, by which app you are going to send that particular document. Okay, so intent share dot type, so type should be applications like PDF, and then like intent share dot put extra, and what put extra will contain intent dot extra, then stream. Afterwards you have to put out that URI dot parse, and here you have to give that file and then this path. Okay, so now we have to start activity, and we have to pass that intent dot create chooser and passing the intent share within it. And afterwards you have to give the title for this, share the file. Okay, so this is done, and let me check for the curly braces and making that if condition here also, request code equals to request enable BT, then if result code equals to okay, result underscore okay, or you can add that thing within that outer if just like that, but you can give that thing also. Bluetooth is on. Okay, else if Bluetooth is off, then you can write that speak, and what that speak will contain, could not able to turn on Bluetooth. Okay, so this is somewhat completed, and here what we have to do is to give another if condition, and within this if condition we are checking the result code equals to crop image dot pick image chooser request code. Okay, and then here result code, afterwards equals to result. Okay, the result is coming. Okay, then what we have to do, image URI equals to crop image, and then dot get pick image result URI, passing the context and data. and image URI will be equals to image URI. Okay, and then start crop and passing the image URI within this. Okay, so it is for that particular result. And now another if condition, and this if condition will be for request code equals to crop image dot, here what we have to do, crop image activity request code, and then variable result equals to crop image dot activity result, and then crop image get activity result, passing the data within it. And here another if condition, result code equals to what, result. Okay, so doing this you can see that. And now image URI equals to result dot URI, and here you have to write that try block. So what we have to do within this try block is to input stream equals to content resolver dot open stream, and then getting that image URI into a bitmap. So bitmap, you know what is bitmap? Bitmap is a kind of format on which the programming methods can be applied. It is a kind of array that converts the image into a pixels kind of thing, so it is very helpful. Now get text and then catch. Okay, so within catch e dot print stack trace. Okay, so again we have to be sure about the if condition and then making a toast message here, and what that toast message will contain, image captured successfully. Okay, if you have captured the image successfully, and then toast dot length short, then show it. Okay, so now what we have to do here is to remove this extra space first of all, and then this much extra space that we have used up till now. Okay, so now else condition is required or not, I am just checking these things, don't guess. Okay, so all these curly braces are at their places, but still there are errors and I have to correct them. Okay, I have put down that one more curly braces. Now what we have to do here is to make another function, and that function is start crop. It is also a customized function that we have called up in the previous lines of codes. Okay, so now what we have to do is crop image dot activity, and then passing the image URI within this crop image dot activity, then set guidelines, and what we have to do under the guidelines, crop image view dot guidelines, and then on, then set multi-touch enabled, making it true, and then set start, and what we are going to start, we have to pass within this as the context. So this method is completed, and this method was start crop. And now here another method, and this method is for circular reveal activity. So this is the important method, as this method will work for the animation for the application. And here we are taking some dimension coordinates like x and y. So we have now cx and binding, as we have used data binding here. So binding dot assistant constraint layout, then get right. Okay, then minus get dips and 44. Afterwards what we have to do here is to cy int and then binding dot assistant constraint, then dot get bottom. Okay, then we have to minus this get dips and then 44. Okay, so this get dips method is also we have to make out, or we have to work on it. Afterwards, the final radius. So what does this final radius will take up out? So this radius will be responsible for revealing that animation. Okay, so now binding dot get width, and we have to pass that height also. So just copy this and change this method from get width to get height. Okay, so this is this was that final radius, and now it is circular reveal, and it is view animation utils dot create circular reveal, and here the binding dot assistant constraint layout, and then cx cy, and again we have to pass 0 as the start radius, and it is in float, so that's why 0f, and now final radius to float. Okay, and now circular reveal dot duration, and the duration will be 1250, and then binding dot assistant layout dot set visibility, and it should be set visibility instead of visibility only, so I have to change it to set then visibility. Okay, now what I have to do with this set visibility? I have to make that view visible, and then circular reveal dot start, so this will start that animations. And now this method is also completed. As you can see that another method is on the way, and this is get dips. So what is that get dips method? Getting dps in that integer, and it is also returning the integer. So now what I have to do here, making wall result code, and it is wall resources, and wall resources is of type resources, and what we have to do here is equals to get resources, and then here what we have to do is to return that typed value dot apply dimension, and then you have to write typed value dot complex unit tip. Okay, and then dps to float, and finally that resources dot get display metric matrix. Okay, so then to int, changing it to int, and now remove this extra space. This method is also gets completed, and let me see what I have to do next. So now what I have to do here is to make some space for the on back press, and then within this on back pressed you have to remove this thing, and you have to write if build dot version dot sdk int, and then if it is greater than build dot version codes dot lollipop, then what will happen, it will set that cx, and then cx equals to binding dot assistant constraint layout get width. Okay, and minus get dips 44. Okay, now copy this and change this to y, make it cy, and make it height instead of width. So till now it is left out right now. So now well, final range, it is not range, I'm forgetting what it could be. So final radius and final radius int equals to math dot max and then we have to pass out that binding dot assistant constant layout, then dot get width. Okay, then we have to copy out and then changing it. First of all, you have to make a comma there and then changing the width to height here. Okay, so height spelling should be correct. Done. And now these variables are set it down, and now that circular reveal variable, so circular reveal equals to what? View animation util dot create circular reveal, then binding dot constraint assistant constraint layout, then passing cx cy, and then final radius dot to float, as we need float value, and then end radius is 0 f, then circular reveal dot add listener. Okay, and within that we have to pass out that object of animation and then animator, and then you have to import that by pressing alt plus enter, then animator listener. Okay, so what we have to do within this, we have to import these methods, like implement these methods on start, on end, and rest of the methods are also needed, but we have to work out on this on end. So on end binding dot assistant, then set visibility, and then view dot, you have to make it invisible here. Okay, and then call a finish method here finally. So the finish method, and here the another methods that are required, like on cancel and then on repeat. So this was that listener, and now what I have to do here is to call that circular reveal, and then duration, setup of that duration, and finally that circular. And now what next is to be done, circular reveal dot start. So finally it is done, and then within that else block you have to make super dot on back press call. So this is our else. Remove this extra space, and now remove this extra space also. So I'm removing this, and now you can see that how I have removed. Now another method called on destroy, and what does this method will get, we have to destroy these things also. Text to speech dot stop, then text to speech dot shut down, then doing the same for speech recognizer dot cancel, then speech recognizer dot destroy. Okay, so now that logcat about it, log dot I and logsr. Okay, and then the message is destroy why. Okay, so this is for the second one also, log tts also. Okay, now you have to remove this extra space from there, and almost everything is done, but you can see that amount of errors. So let's debug them. First of all, one parenthesis is needed. Okay, now check it out here. So here what we have to do is to just these are the part of that logcat. We are going to use them within that logcat. So I what I will do, that I'm just asserting this sign, so this will managing that exception that these methods are getting. Okay, now doing the same thing for these methods also. So here what we have to do is to just do these things for all these things. Okay, now just these two signs you have to put out here. Okay, so now doing this same thing, and then for this also, and now for this also. Okay, so it is somewhat completed, and now you can see that errors are also get removed, but it's still showing some error for this throwable. So just add non-null and this error will get removed by itself. Okay, so we have forgot it to add fun to it. Okay, so let me see what else I can do. You can add up that fun here. Okay, so this error is also got removed. Now these errors, so instead of I, you have to pass out that uh, intent, or it you have to pass out simply it. Okay, don't go for that intent, use it. Okay, so now what I have to do here is to, okay, if you are getting error with that intent, then you should pass out that it within that WhatsApp method. Okay, and now this thing, I think there is something error with this on result method, so I have to remove this, and I have already made out that, so I paste it. I'm going to paste it out, and so that you can get no error within that. Don't worry, I will show it to you that what is the problem with that. Also here I have to paste it out. Okay, I have pasted out. Now I'm just scrolling it down so that you can see that, and now I'm removing it again to place it at a correct position. Okay, so here I have pasted. Okay, and now there is error within this, and what that error, so this is the error that I am seeing here, and let me do that thing like checking what super dot on activity. Okay, okay, I got it. What else can be done here? So it is a problem of that, curly braces and all these kind of things. On result is there, you can see that this is already there. So we have to remove this, and here I have removed that, and now what I have to do is to just paste it again, and now correct this error only. Add that thing here, and what else can be done? I'm just showing to you the correct code. If you have messed up within this on result, then you can now correct it. Pause the video and correct your code. This is done, and now still there are few errors and I have to correct them. Okay, so let me see this error. So just go to the red bulb and then add this required thing. Afterwards this error, so I'm just changing this line. Now you can see that the error is removed. I have just copied and pasted something, so I will just show you that what I have done. Actually it is a image directory which is depreciated. Okay, so let me scroll it down and little more. Afterwards I have to change it into the small size so that you can see the full thing. Okay, so now if you have messed up at anywhere, then you can pause the video and correct your code, because I have lowered the count of the size of font so that you can see that everything clearly. Also that image directory line, if you have not seen it, then please pause the video and correct your code. Okay, so this is done. This activity, assistant activity, is completed, and right now I'm just scrolling, and afterwards I will be just going to the main activity, which is the left part. Okay, so here I am into that main activity, and here we have to add something. So let me just do that. First of all, we have to make some objects here. Make means we have to declare. Okay, so now private and then late initialization variable, its name is image button. Okay, image action button, I should give it the name as image action button, and it is of type image and then button. Okay, now another variable, that is the record audio request, and its code, it is of type int and its value is 1. Okay, and now I have to go to within this method called onCreate, and within this onCreate method I have to set up that image action button, mapping the Java button to that XML code part by the help of ID. Okay, so action underscore button was the ID for that. Now if condition, if context compat dot check permissions, and context is this, then manifest and manifest dot permissions. So let me just do it again. You have to import the manifest of Android, not of Java. That's why that error occurred recently. Okay, so now not equals to, then package manager. Afterwards it is the same thing, we are checking for an permissions here, and then check permission. Afterwards what I have to do here is to give the else block also. So let me give it like else block is not needed, we have to just give that set on click listener. If the permission is not granted, then this will do nothing, no action. And I'm set on click listener, I will start that assistant activity here. Okay, it is assistant activity, and then it is class Java. Okay, perfectly fine. Now what I have to do is to remove this extra space, and afterwards this, what I will do, I will just give that on request result. So this is also that important method beside that else part for the outer if. Okay, so within this, if request code equals to what, it is record audio request code and grant result dot size is greater than 0, then what will happen, if grant result then at 0 then equals to package manager, we are checking for that permission dot permission granted. Actually grant result is a kind of array that bind up all the permissions, so it stores them in a form of array. So we are getting that first permission as we are requesting for the first permission here, so it is at index 0. Now that toast message is that permission granted. Okay, then toast dot length short, then show it. Okay, no problem, everything is good. Afterwards remove this extra space, and here what we have to do, here we have to give another check. It is not a check, actually it will, let me check that braces, otherwise that's issue. Okay, so another check permission. So what this will do is if build dot version, then SDK, alt enter to import build, and then SDK. Afterwards, SDK is greater than build dot version codes dot m. Okay, then activity compat dot request permission this, and then that array of manifest. Actually these checking permissions are different for different Android versions, that's why we are using these methods also. Now record audio, and here we have to pass that request audio code. Okay, no problem, no issue, everything is good, and this class is completed. Let me scroll it down. If you have messed up at anywhere, getting any kind of error, then you can correct it. I have showed you everything, and without error everything goes very well in a flow. Now I have to run this application in my device so that I can show you the demo also. So it is, the Gradle is building, and now it is installing, and it is installed successfully, as you can see that.
Hello,
Hello, how can I help you?
welcome.
For what?
Date,
The date is 14th February.
time,
The time is 2020 and 28 seconds.
open Gmail, open Facebook, turn on Bluetooth,
Turning on Bluetooth. Bluetooth is on.
turn off Bluetooth,
Turning Bluetooth off.
turn on Flash,
Flash turned on.
turn off Flash,
Flash turned off.
capture a photo,
Invalid command. Try again.
capture photo,
Photo will be saved to slash storage slash emulated slash 1.jpg.
weather,
There are nothing to geocode.
Mumbai weather,
Coordinates 19.0144, 72.8479. Weather description, smog. Temperature, 300.15. Wind speed, 2.06. City, country, Mumbai,